Ivan IV Vasilyevich, more commonly known as Ivan the Terrible, was the first Tsar of Russia and one of the most controversial and significant figures in Russian history. Born on August 25, 1530, in Kolomenskoye near Moscow, Ivan's rule was marked by both remarkable accomplishments and horrifying cruelty. He reigned from 1533 to 1584, transforming Russia from a medieval state into an emerging empire, while also leaving behind a legacy of violence, fear, and repression. Early life and rise to power. Ivan IV was born into the powerful Rurik dynasty, the son of Grand Prince Vasily III and Elena Glinskaya. His father died when Ivan was just 3 years old, and his mother became regent. However, Elena's regency was short-lived. She died under suspicious circumstances in 1538, likely poisoned. Ivan and his younger brother were left vulnerable, becoming pawns in a power struggle between various noble families, or boyars, who often ruled cruelly and neglected the children. This period instilled in Ivan a deep hatred for the nobility and a lifelong suspicion of betrayal. At the age of 16, Ivan was crowned Tsar of all the Russias in 1547, the first ruler to assume that title. This was more than a symbolic change, it declared Ivan's belief in his divine right to rule and emphasized Moscow's role as the Third Rome, the heir to the fallen Byzantine Empire. Reforms and achievements. The early part of Ivan's reign was known for its progressive reforms and achievements. With the support of a council of advisors called the Chosen Council, Ivan implemented a number of administrative and military reforms. Centralization of power. Ivan reduced the influence of the boyars and established a more autocratic rule. Creation of the Streltsy, a permanent standing army, enhancing the military capability of the Russian state. Legal reforms. The 1550 Sudebnik, legal code, attempted to modernize and systematize the justice system. Church reforms. Ivan cooperated with Metropolitan Macarius to canonize Russian saints and promote religious unity. Local governance. Ivan introduced the system of Zemsky Sabor, assemblies of the land, and local self-government for towns and regions, allowing more participation in state affairs. Perhaps Ivan's most notable territorial achievement was his military conquest and expansion. He successfully led campaigns against the Kazan Khanate, 1552, and the Astrakhan Khanate, 1556, effectively ending centuries of Tatar control in these regions. These victories extended Russian influence deep into the Volga River basin and opened up possibilities for further eastward expansion into Siberia. The Oprichnina and descent into terror. Despite these early successes, the second half of Ivan's reign took a dark and violent turn. His beloved first wife, Anastasia Romanovna, died in 1560, possibly due to poisoning. Her death marked a turning point for Ivan, who became increasingly paranoid, cruel, and erratic. He blamed the boyars for her death and intensified his campaign against them. In 1565, Ivan divided Russia into two regions, the Oprichnina, his personal domain, and the Zemshchina, the rest of the country. The Oprichnina was governed by Ivan and his loyal followers, known as Oprichniki, who were tasked with rooting out treason and opposition. Dressed in black and riding black horses, the Oprichniki terrorized the population, carried out mass executions, and confiscated lands from the nobility. One of the most infamous episodes was the massacre of Novgorod in 1570, where thousands of people including women and children were tortured and killed under suspicion of treason. These actions devastated the economy and created a climate of fear and distrust across Russia. Personal tragedies and the death of an heir. Ivan's violent temperament also impacted his personal life. In 1581, in a fit of rage, he struck and killed his eldest son and heir, Ivan Ivanovich, with a staff. This left his mentally unfit son Feofor I as the only surviving heir, eventually leading to a dynastic crisis after Ivan's death and the subsequent time of troubles, a period of political chaos, famine, and foreign invasion. Death and legacy. Ivan the Terrible died on March 28, 1584, while playing chess with a close associate. His death brought an end to a tumultuous and contradictory reign. Despite his brutality, Ivan left a lasting mark on Russia. He expanded Russian territory more than any of his predecessors, pushing into Siberia and the east. He strengthened autocratic rule, laying the foundation for future tsars, including Peter the Great. Yet, his reign also introduced state-sponsored terror, weakened the aristocracy, and destabilized the succession line, resulting in long-term political instability. Historians remain divided on Ivan's legacy. Some view him as a visionary ruler who modernized and expanded Russia, while others see him as a paranoid despot who caused immense suffering and led Russia into a period of decline. Conclusion: Ivan the Terrible's life was a complex tapestry of brilliance and brutality. He was a ruler who revolutionized the Russian state, making it more centralized and powerful, but at an immense human cost. His reign serves as a dramatic illustration of how personal trauma, unchecked power, and ambition can shape the course of a nation's history. Even today, Ivan IV remains a deeply polarizing figure, revered by some as a strong leader, reviled by others as a tyrant consumed by his own demons.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.